From the studios, this is Colors of Social Media, the podcast for budding digital marketers and small business owners who not only believe in digital marketing, but actually practice it. I'm your host, Enoch the Body Boy Apiachi. Bill Odartei.
Yes.
Thank you so much for deciding to join me on Colors of Social Media.
It's a pleasure.
I truly appreciate your presence here.
It's also an honor to be here.
Yeah. Because the moment I thought about this episode, you were the first person that came in mind. Currently, you are Tech Aid, right?
Yes.
Which is also a business, and definitely your activity is B2B.
Mm-hmm.
So when I thought about an episode for B2B brands, I thought, Mr. Odartei is the right person to talk to. So once again, thank you so much for deciding to join me.
Thank you too for having me.
Awesome. Now, for Colors of Social Media podcast, we have a tradition. It's actually a tradition made up of two questions.
Okay.
The first question, I ask them at the beginning of the episode, which I'm about to do, and the last question comes when I'm done talking to you, when I'm done listening to your wonderful insights and all that. So let's start with the first question.
Okay.
What do you want to come out of this episode? Why did you decide to come?
Okay, so I would say for this episode, I want business owners to be able to make informed decisions and also to help B2B businesses to be able to know the key insights and be able to implement certain strategies that are, not far-fetched from them. Yeah.
Now that I know your objective, I know how to, ask the questions in order for us to all, arrive at the objectives.
Okay.
Yeah. So let's start with the first question. Obviously, will be the landscape, the digital landscape of B2B businesses. So what is the difference? When you started working with a B2B brand, what were you doing? Was it working? And currently, what are you doing? Well, the overall landscape of B2B business. Yeah.
Well, B2B has changed tremendously over the years, and like people or experts normally say, marketers reign everything. Yeah. So if you look at even just look at social media was calm.
Yeah.
Before Facebook was calm, before Facebook business came, and then marketers abused it.
Yeah.
Everywhere you go, there are ads. You look at YouTube. YouTube was calm for creators. You watch creator videos, and all of a sudden you start seeing ads, and it even got to the point that now you have to watch the ads before you watch the video. So it has influenced a lot of things, and anywhere digital, marketers who are in the B2B space tend to find a crack through that door to be able to, get their products or businesses in. Yeah. So, it's I would say B2B is possible, has been made possible in every marketing sphere.
I think we'll be doing our listeners a huge disservice if I don't ask this question.
Okay.
B2B and B2C. First, what is B2B? Secondly, what is B2C? And thirdly, what is the difference between these letters and numbers, B2B and B2C? What is the difference?
Okay. So I'll start from B2C.
All right.
B2C is basically business to customers. B2C, I would say, is where a business is marketing or doing business or doing a transaction with just a single customer. For example, a Coca-Cola factory or the Coca-Cola company, they build the Coca-Cola and then they sell to you, the customer. You bought one bottle of Coca-Cola from the Coca-Cola factory. Even though you didn't buy directly, maybe you bought it from a shop or something.
Shop.
Yeah. the marketing stems from the company because they own that responsibility and they own that brand.
Right.
So B2C is business
To
to customer.
customers.
Now B2B is business to business. For instance, assuming you have a company, a security company,
Right.
and Microsoft has I'm sure you know about is it Microsoft 365?
Yeah.
Yeah. And they have a business or enterprise suite that they sell only to businesses. Yeah. With that, it's a different dynamic because they are dealing with you and your business. So that's B2B.
Right. So
Yeah.
B2B,
Business
business to business.
Yeah.
B2C is business
To
to
customers.
customers. Right. Now that we have the foundation of these letters and numbers, let's bring our focus back on B2B.
Okay.
Right. So what are some of the key strategies that B2B companies can utilize effectively when it comes to digital marketing?
When it comes to digital marketing, they first have to start with like the foundation of it, and that's where knowing who your customer is or knowing who you are selling to is very important. And when it comes to B2B, it's kind of complex. Yeah, I would say complex in a way because since you are talking to a business, you have to look at all the corners of it to be which will make sale possible for you. And developing a customer persona for B2B in that sense is very, very, very not straightforward as compared to B2C. So a key strategy is setting your foundation right. And when I say that, again, I mean knowing that you are talking to a decision maker, because decision makers are the people who make decisions on behalf of the companies. And you also have to have at the back of your mind that the decision maker is surrounded by some people. They are not always alone. So you have to look at who the gatekeepers are, who the influencers of these decision makers are, and so that when you are doing a digital marketing drive or strategy, you know that it's going to bring you results. So that's the foundation. Now, once you get the foundation right, based on that, then you can start building on that to create your own strategy and the campaigns that you want to run. So from the foundation, then you can look at platforms, social media platforms where these people are. And that's where LinkedIn comes in. Yeah. LinkedIn is known as a professional platform. Yeah. So with that, you have to leverage on using LinkedIn. Currently, LinkedIn use is more like how Facebook was 5 years ago. I'm saying that because some 5 years ago, organic reach on Facebook was higher compared to today. And now the platform which is giving you that form of reach is LinkedIn.
Yeah.
And interestingly, if you're a B2B company, then like in Ghana they'll say where the lotto. Yeah, LinkedIn is there. You can leverage it. You can easily identify the people you are trying to target. Let's say you are looking at like CEOs. I'm even looking at industry. So let's say you are looking at selling something to the big four companies, when the Ernst & Young, PwC, and stuff like that. You go to LinkedIn, you type the name of the company, and then you are able to see even the employees. And even going through them,
you can see who is the gatekeeper. Who is the CEO?
Exactly.
Yeah.
You can see that that's one way to um, personally engage with them and feed them more. So one of the ways is, if you want to generate leads, you can do that, and then based on that, once you reach out to them, you start creating content geared towards something that will be of interest to them, and then you'll be sharing with them. Gradually they get to trust you, because when it comes to B2B, even though there are huge money involved, you have to make sure your digital marketing largely makes them comfortable to make a decision or to vie for you. So once you create a rapport, it's easy for you to get your foot into the door. You can get let's say, a meeting with a CEO once you
Yeah.
ask those gatekeepers and all that. Another way too is using, creating your own company profile on LinkedIn, just as other companies have.
Businesses have done.
Yeah. So when you do that, you create, you couch your messaging or your campaigns around targeting these people. And you can even go as direct as saying, okay, for CEOs, this is the best, this is the best enterprise service tool for you to use, so that whenever they see it, oh, okay, they are talking to me. An add-on to that is, with those posts, you can create, you can promote them actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, put money on it. And actually, with the targeting, you can say, I want only C-level people to
Right.
see.
Oh, okay.
And it will just fly. Yeah. Even though when you look at the rates in terms of promoting on LinkedIn compared to the rest, LinkedIn is higher. LinkedIn rates are higher because they know the
There are
targeting.
premium audience on there.
And they know they are targeting,
Yes,
hits.
laser focus. So
So that's just one platform.
yeah.
Yeah. Another platform you can think about is the email marketing.
Right.
Yeah. And with the email marketing, it's also a way of developing trust, because the people have to trust you before they make a decision. So you leverage on email marketing and make sure that they get enough information about you that they cannot say no if you do the
How
ask.
can you build trust through email?
By giving them enough value and enough information about your product.
Right.
Yeah. So once, like, they start receiving the messages that you send through the email marketing platforms, they get to know more, and at some point they'll say, oh, let me just check them out to see.
Yeah.
And then that's where they go to your website. And your website is your real estate, where everywhere is where your master bedroom, where your everything is there.
I was about to ask you about websites. Is it relevant now that you are talking about it? I'm not gonna ask.
Website is the most important to me. That's the most important, because all other platforms belongs to other people.
Yeah.
They can do anything, they can change the rules, they can do anything at any time. But with website, it belongs to you, and it sits on the web. So whichever shape or form and whichever way you want it to even look like,
you have the control over it.
Exactly.
And all that. Cool. So Bill, you've made mention of social media and email marketing as one of the digital marketing channels you are recommending to B2B companies. Now let's focus on social media. I think you sort of alluded to LinkedIn, but I want us to focus on social media. How can B2B companies utilize social media when it comes to marketing to their preferred audience?
I would say clearly to even, before you even start, you have to know your buyer persona.
Right.
Yeah, you have to know your buyer persona, and that way, that's what we even inform which social media platform to use.
Good.
And once you are able to establish that, you know what um, the context and what they use that particular social media platform to use. For instance, if I ask you personally, if you go to LinkedIn, if you log on to LinkedIn, I'm sure your mind automatically switches for you to act professionally.
Oh
You
yes,
start typing your English,
that's where the
everything, grammar.
Webster English comes.
Yeah. But
That's where my Webster English comes.
But if you go to Facebook,
Oh, Facebook is freestyle.
Facebook free, Twitter, you're a different person,
Twitter.
you know?
Oh.
Yeah. So that's the exact way. If you
Yeah.
establish your buyer persona, you should know what they do at a particular point, so you know how to talk.
Yeah.
So for even though I mentioned LinkedIn, you should know that Instagram has a growing audience who are also very, very old, and these people are also likely to be managers and
CEOs and
so you should know what your buyer your target audience does over there, and you have to do things around that. Maybe your messaging shouldn't be too professional. Yeah.
I was even about to ask you, as a B2B company, must I always go to LinkedIn if I want to market to my target audience? Is LinkedIn the only social media platforms to go?
I would say focus on LinkedIn if you don't have enough resources in terms of time and budget.
Right.
But if you have the liberty, you can decide not to focus on only LinkedIn. You can do other platforms. For instance, let's take General Electric, GE, as a typical example. When you go to their LinkedIn, they have a lot of campaigns about what they are doing, their engineers and all that. When you go to Instagram, General Electric can typically run a campaign on Instagram saying we want photographers to come and take pictures of our huge engines in our factories. So they run a campaign around that, select a photographer, and the photographer just tours in their factories, take pictures, and then they post it, and then they tag the photographer. So it's more like a collab with the photographer. And these things, you think, it's not going to bring in sales. But at the end of the day, you should know that creating a brand is even more important than just making a sale. Creating a brand makes it easier for a customer to come back again. So customer can see this, just be like, the photography is nice, look at the G engines and stuff like that. Next day, that same customer is sitting in their boardroom and they are talking about, we have to buy this huge engine turbines, and the person in the boardroom will say, I recently was scrolling through
Instagram and I saw nice photos from
why don't we check them out?
Interesting.
Yeah, so if you have the resources and time, budget, you can go all out looking at based on platforms. Based on what your target audience does. But if you don't, I would say stick to LinkedIn.
Right. One of the, not even one of the main drivers of all the social media platform is content.
Yeah.
Right. So what role does content play when it comes to B2B marketing on these social media platforms?
Content is very, very important. And I'm saying that because when it comes to B2B, you are not riding on a short-term emotion just to make a sale. For a decision maker to make a decision on behalf of his company, maybe making a purchase of, let's say, a $20,000 service or $20,000 product from your company, they have to make sure they are making the right decision, because they know if they make the wrong decision, it's going to go against the company. And it's kind some companies or some decision makers are even find themselves even in a situation where they have to make a decision to purchase a service or a product that if they make the wrong decision, it can close down the company.
Yeah.
So when content is involved, content enables the decision maker know more about
Your services
your
or product.
services, who you are. They get to trust you more. So you blur everything in their mind, make everything clearer. They know where to find you. They know even your key people before they even decide to buy from you.
Talking about content, let's still stay on content. As a B2B company,
Yeah.
and since you've been in the game since, what sort of content would you recommend for someone who runs a B2B to be able to reach their target audience? Don't be specific, but then you can just give like an overarching content theme. What sort of content would you recommend? That, let's say, if I'm running a B2B company, I can post on my social media platforms.
Right. Okay. So, like I mentioned earlier on, your website is very, very important.
Yes.
So, running or putting out blogs and vlogs are hugely important. And
So, articles on my website.
Your website. That's one. And also guest blogging.
Guest blogging, as
yeah.
in
other people having their platforms, but you write and place it there. Yeah, maybe in the same industry as you are in, or maybe in it's a news or a media agency.
But wouldn't it be counterproductive? Because right now I want to drive people to my website, but here's the case: I should write on other people's website. Wouldn't it be counterproductive?
No.
Okay, tell me.
Because other platforms have their own set of audience. Your
Right.
website has its own set of audience. Or you're writing on other people's platforms, you're able to get the opportunity to link back to
link building back to your
Exactly.
website.
Exactly. And to really hit the nail on the head, you were asking what sort of content.
Yeah.
You can look at a content around maybe a day in the life of your target audience.
So let's say if my target audience, they are CEOs, mid-level managers, I should couch my content around their day.
Yeah, a day in the life of a CEO in this industry. When they chance upon such a thing, they'll read.
Right.
Or you can also look at their pain points. What keeps CEOs
I wake up night. Interesting. Is it not making money?
You know?
So yeah, you tackle their pain points
Yeah.
also. Interesting.
Yeah.
So I'm still sticking to you've been in the game since, and you made mention of email marketing at the top of the episode as one of the marketing channels. So I want us to focus on email marketing as a marketing channel for B2B company.
Okay.
What are some of the benefits, and you can follow up with the challenges and how you overcame those, what if you ever encountered any. Yeah. So what are the benefits and the challenges when it comes to email marketing?
Okay. The benefits, one that really comes up on top of my head is the fact that you get the opportunity to send a message to a potential buyer, someone who has already bought from you, like an existing client, the potential one, the existing ones. And another thing that comes with it is you're able to get analytics based on who is reading. Are they actually reading are they even opening your emails? you're able to see all those things. Do you have to make changes? Do you have to, yeah, you do a lot of testing. If this doesn't work, you have to change that. So you get all those, you know,
Metrics.
metrics and opportunity to effect changes. And the challenges, if you should ask me, would be if you don't do it right, people who receive your emails, they can unsubscribe.
Yeah.
Maybe it's becoming too much. That's one. Maybe it's getting too boring. That's two. Or maybe
Talking about too much. When is too much too much? When it comes to email marketing, because I keep on hearing people don't send emails too much, don't send emails too much. So I want to ask you, when is too much too much?
too much, it all boils down to the value that you are
They are
bringing.
giving.
If you are giving them a lot of value, they don't mind.
Right.
But if, for instance, I'm signed up to McKinsey, their email marketing list. I receive about 4 emails a day
Wow.
from McKinsey. But each email I receive is based on a different set of topic. And before I signed up for that email list, they gave me like the name of the topic and a description of it. So each email I receive, I know it's about something different. And if it's something that is really important to me or of value to me, I keep it. Yeah.
So apart from what you call it, LinkedIn and social media marketing,
Yeah.
email marketing is really dear to my heart. So I'll be asking a lot of questions when it comes to email marketing.
Right on.
So the next one is what is the measure of value? Because you made mention that if you are giving them value, they wouldn't mind receiving, like you are getting 4 emails from McKinsey in a day. So what is the measure of value here? When will I see that, oh, I'm actually giving values to my email subscribers? How will I see it?
Okay, first, the metrics. If you can see that they are opening, that's one. If also your email messages have links in them and they are clicking on the links, going to
where you want them to go,
that's another thing.
So you've made mention of, let's stick to the metrics here. What are some of the metrics for me to look out for? Because I'm sure these email marketing platforms, they do provide these metrics. So what are some of the metrics I should look out for in order for me to measure the value I'm giving to my subscribers?
Look out for the open rates.
Open rates. The rate at which they open the email I send to them. Okay.
You also look out for the link they click from your email that you send to them. I think you are good to go.
Let me ask you this question about analytics, right? What role do you think analytics and tracking play in measuring the success of B2B digital marketing campaigns?
Okay. Well, basically, analytics are, I would say, the blessing that came from digital marketing. Yeah. In the past, you can't quite clearly measure who listens to your radio ads or who watch your television. But B2B offers you results that you can actually measure. Yeah. So in terms of analytics, what it's the way it helps is the fact that it's able to inform you whether you are doing the right thing. Yeah, based on, let's say, people seeing the content you are putting out or the messaging you are putting out. That's one. It also tells you the level of sentiment of the people you are targeting. Are they liking what you are doing, or they are not liking you? You can tell. You can be able to measure the sentiment. That's another one. Another one too is you are able to get to know whether they are actually engaging, like you caught their attention with what you are putting out as a business. Yeah. So your engagement is also really, really important. Yeah.
And these, I'm sure, these social media platforms, they provide these analytics, and I'm sure MailChimp too does that.
Yeah.
All right. This is my last question.
Okay.
Yes. So I want to talk about the emerging trends that digital marketers should look out for when it comes to B2B marketing.
Okay.
What are some of the emerging trends we should look out for, since you've been in the game and you are still in it?
Okay. One thing that everybody should be aware of is like the big bad in the room in everywhere you pass is AI. And if you are into digital marketing, a sure way of using AI is having an AI chatbot on your website. One, you can even have an AI chatbot on WhatsApp. So just taking or leveraging on AI in your existing marketing efforts as a B2B marketer will send you a long way. Because even on social media, you can even use an AI model like ChatGPT to give you create your own messaging and ask you ChatGPT to give you 5 different variations of that same messaging within a few seconds. Yeah. So AI is key. AI is key, very, very important to businesses. Yeah, so that's an emerging trend that
we should
exactly
tag along. Interesting. Bill, thank you so much for coming.
Thanks for having me.
Remember, at the top of the episode, I made mention that we have 2 traditions.
One on top, one at the bottom.
Exactly.
Like a sandwich.
Exactly. So we are coming. My next question will be about the last tradition.
Sure.
Which will be, which of your friends in the industry would you recommend to come on this episode?
Friend in the industry.
Yeah. I've put it in a tight corner, but enjoy.
Yeah. I'm from the marketing point. I'm only allowed to name one person.
Yes. Or maybe you can do me an honest and give me 2.
Okay. One person, the first person I'll say is Bernard Kafui-Sokpe.
Bernard Kafui-Sokpe.
Yes.
Oh, okay. He's on LinkedIn.
He's on LinkedIn, yes. But he's mostly popular on Twitter. Yeah. Most people on Twitter call him.
Oh, okay. Interesting. I didn't know him to be Bernard. Oh, interesting. Yeah. All right.
2. Still on the sphere of marketing.
Makafu Yayime.
Yeah.
He too is on LinkedIn.
He's on LinkedIn, yeah.
And on X.
He's on X as well.
All right.
He's the one behind Accra Goose Market.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So he's the one.
Awesome. Thank you, my friend.
Thank you too.
I appreciate your presence. Yes.
I'm glad to be here.
Awesome. Danny. Awesome. Great.
Thank you, Daddy.